officer die of the coronavirus. 500 officers citywide have it. They reported a 13% call out rate or something crazy like that. 2/3 of New York City is rented. 2/3, let me say that number to you again. 2/3 of New York City rents. So what that means is this week rent is due, and the New York Senate is hoping to pass a bill which would be in protection of not only homeowners and property owners as well, but renters as well, which would stave off rent for at least the next 90 days, and they would then be providing some assistance to property managers as well as landlords, property owners, etc., allowing them to get some sort of reprieve on their mortgage or whatever, however this works out. The renter would have to prove that their actual job is being affected directly by coronavirus, meaning it had to have been shut down or you are furloughed. If you're working from home, you do not qualify. Sorry. So yeah, Cheesecake Factory says, you know what? We are going to join the long line of renters who will not be able to make April's payment. That's right. Cheesecake Factory said they ain't paying rent for the month. That's right. You heard me. So if you have a local Cheesecake Factory, just know that they ain't paying their rent either. So don't feel that bad. If Cheesecake Factory ain't making it, I mean, you're not doing that bad, okay? You're not doing that bad. Because them niggas done slang enough motherfucking chicken marsalas, okay? And enough fucking strawberry cheesecake swirls, red velvet cake shit to pay their rent. And hopefully they're paying their employees during this time. Disney is closed indefinitely. I mean, listen, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm just saying this is what's going on out here. All right, this is what we're dealing with in these streets. Oh, you guys. That's how I feel. That is how I feel, child. Oh, child. Karen. I'm so scared, Karen. Oh, Karen, I'm scared. Oh, child. I have been doing a lot of just taking deep breaths. Just stop and just take a deep breath. Really, just feel that shit in your collarbone. Feel it in the depths of your vagina, bitch. Take a deep breath. It's okay. It's okay. Because you know what? For every bad thing that is happening, there is something good happening. I believe that. I believe that, the fact that this is happening to all of us is not an accident. I believe, so if I were to put my faith into this, I have to tell you, I believe and declare by the blood of Jesus that this is not impossible unto him. There is a reason why this is happening, This week I encountered someone who, listen, all right, I during this process have either been sequestered with my family or spending time with of one of my friends, and I am fully understanding of, kind of the threat level, so to speak, that exists during this time, even as it pertains to interpersonal relationships, what have you. And, I think that anxiety for me is, I've been dealing with a lot of my anxiety during this time with overindulging in perhaps more drinking than I would normally do, or more smoking than I would normally do, or speaking to people that I probably shouldn't really be speaking to, more at 4. um but I think for me, the fact that I have been able, time is a luxury to me, you know? And I think that if you are someone who subscribes to the theory of moreness, this is a difficult time for you. Moreness meaning more time to do more things. The absence of being able to exist in moreness can be very difficult for you. The act of just truly existing is difficult, because I think that there is, in this time, the ability to really focus in, and not egoically focus in on yourself, but focus in on yourself where you are acknowledging and seeing things about yourself, and acknowledging those things, and kind of existing, in good, bad, or indifferent, existing in what that is, so that you can make steps towards, being more conscious when you're executing in that way, if that makes any sense. So if I see myself as a person who is overindulging, since we're talking about that, if I see myself in that realm of overindulging, then I think for me to see it and to be like, all right, you're having a moment. You're having a moment. Get clear about why it is that you feel like you need to overindulge. Like, what are you trying to anesthetize right now? Like, what is it that you want to stuff? Like, why are you trying to take in so much? What is it that you're trying to, get away from? And that's why, listen, I had one day this week where, I beat my face and, whatever. Like, I didn't do much with my hair. I think I just had like Chinese bumps, but I beat my face and, like, whatever. And I could remember speaking to one person and they were like, I can't believe you even have makeup on. And I thought to myself, like, yeah, because to be honest with you, I don't really do makeup just because I'm going outside. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I do makeup because I love it, you know? Like, I love it. I don't see it as this, like, a lot of people, because I won't even just say women, but a lot of people see makeup as this, like, oh, when I'm going outside, I have to put on this makeup, and it's such an arduous big deal for me to have to just get into this. And I get that. A lot of people don't get into the whole makeup of it all. I love it. So it's not painstaking for me to take a moment to do that. It's actually just a sense of normalcy for me. It's not out of the ordinary for me to, like, still want to look cute as much as I can. And to be honest with you, a lot of my grooming I do myself, so it's not a big deal for me this time. Like, I can still apply my lashes. I can still do my brows. I can still do my makeup. If I have hair and a stocking cap, I can still make a banging ass wig. Like, I can still do a lot of that shit myself. And if this time don't teach you nothing else, this would be a good time for you to do the same thing. Little technical difficulties and everything, but yeah, I was saying that I do my own pedicures and shit. So anyways, I feel like now is a good time for you to get into a lot of stuff. And I was talking about just me and my experience through this whole process and what I'm learning and what I'm taking away from it, blah, 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 blah. And I don't want to stay here. We're going to talk about some folks, but whatever. But I say all that to say that, get into this time, you guys. Time is a luxury. I know that a lot of you are complaining about having to, like, be with your kids or
teach them, or be with your significant other, or be without your person that you're with because maybe you guys don't live together, or, God, you're having to be home and it's so like, listen, right? While you are out here complaining about having to be in your safe space, just know that there has been an upsurge of domestic violence calls that have happened since Corona came on the scene. So you get the luxury of living in your space, not having to worry about who is going to beat your ass because now y'all are in the same house and this nigga is overindulging or this bitch is overindulging in too much weed or too much alcohol. Women and children who live with domestic violence, they don't have no escape for their abusers, especially during this time. Like, just take a moment to appreciate the fact that you're able to exist and you don't have to worry about the space that you exist in. Like, there's a 40 to 50% rise worldwide for what the epidemic has done to domestic violence. And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I just want you to, while you are complaining about having to work from home, 3.3 million Americans had to file for unemployment. Like, while you're complaining about the kid that keeps wanting to talk to you and be up under you during this time, there are kids who school was their safe haven. It was where they were able to eat. I mean, so if you could just muster up the energy to, get very mindful about this time and be very conscious about where you are and how blessed you are to exist, especially if you have your health, if you have your job, if you have the ability to financially exist during this time and live in a living condition where you're not being abused, you're not under threat. Okay, so you don't have the luxury of being able to go to the gym. Oh, wow. Oh, well, so sorry. So you can't go and get your $100 nails. Oh, yeah, no, I totally get what your problem is. Totally understand. But seriously, I don't want to make anyone feel bad for feeling whatever they feel, but I think it's important that we realize that this is happening to everyone. No one better than the other. And the fact that you are able to exist and you have your health. I mean, there's a large majority of the population who doesn't. You may not be sure about what will happen to you financially or whatever. But who's sure about anything? I mean, honestly, can we just take a moment to, I just want to take a moment to just say a rest in peace to a young transgender woman, 33 years old, who was killed in Harlem. She was known as Lexi. Lexi was found